How are we doing, everybody? Ty Sites Shadow Games Report. Doing part 4 of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 tonight. Got some bumping music tonight. Alrighty. We got advanced technologies and applications. Something cool that we discovered in the game last night. It's like a fictitious portion or division of the CIA, at least allegedly. Yeah, let me pause this. I'm gonna be like dancing the entire show and not like be paying attention to what I'm saying otherwise. But yeah, we got some I want to do some digging into I guess the structure of the CIA. I've watched videos, I've watched documentaries, never really like, I don't know, absorbed a lot of it. And I'm not like I guess too I don't know. I'm not obsessed with like learning about the CIA or anything. But I guess one thing that makes me want to learn about it is just the fact that I don't feel like a lot of people really know a lot about it. And with government transparency, we kind of have to know about certain organizations to really understand them and know how they function and to, I guess, kind of weigh out if they're necessary or not, which is why I'm glad to see Tulsi Gabbard, cutting into the intelligence community quite a bit. She is the director of what is it, National Intelligence? Is it DNI? I want to say that's right, but correct me if I'm wrong. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I like forget like the actual title, like everything of the title. But either way, it would be good to actually see if we are starting to cut into even, things like, well, we've heard from Ratcliffe that there might be some possible cuts. I haven't really heard too much about that lately, or if they actually happened or not. So, I don't know, it's just, we gotta hold these things accountable by actually making sure that they happen. We can't just like trust their word anymore. We have to make sure that they're actually doing these things. You see what I mean? It's kind of like everyone's kind of questioning Cash Patel and Dan Bongino right now. Everybody's wondering if Dan Bongino is going to leave sometime soon. You got Kyle Seraphim coming out today saying that he's probably going to leave in the next 60 days or so. Um, we'll just have to wait and see if that's true or not. But yeah, he even said went as far as thinking that Cash might be out in the next 6 months or so. So very, very large claims. I hope they stick it or just stay in there and try to stick it out. Um, I don't know, maybe get the right people next to you to kind of help guide you to where you kind of need to go. But, we want people that we can trust in certain positions. And I'm not saying that even Cash or Dan Bongino are the best people to trust, but it's like if they're already trying to ditch out, I mean, maybe we couldn't trust them as deeply as we wanted to begin with. I don't know, maybe they took too much of a bite out of what they could chew. I don't know. That's just kind of the word going around, but I don't really know for sure. Maybe people are just kind of like parroting each other to some degree, and I don't want to be that guy. I kind of just want to, I don't know, form my own opinions, and I don't know. I guess, probably put too much hope in certain people as much as anybody else, and I guess we're learning that we can't really do that unless they really can do the job. But yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to believe the mainstream conservative narrative that's starting to kind of pop up too. Kind of makes me start to be a little bit concerned, like who is driving that narrative, and that's why it's kind of good to learn about, certain propaganda agencies that, put out certain, um, what is it? Is it deception, intelligence, or something along those lines? it's basically where they just put out false information to sway the public, towards a certain direction. And yeah, we'll learn about that here in a second. Let me go ahead and get this off the screen, and let's go ahead and jump on into the news. Um, I'm gonna try to breeze through the headlines quickly, and then we'll jump into learning a little bit about the CIA. I'm not gonna jump into the history of the CIA. I feel like I've covered that before on this channel. Um, I don't even. It wouldn't be surprising if it was on another Call of Duty Black Ops 6 video that I did it on, but I don't remember what game I was playing that night. But yeah, we are going to play the game after we get through some of the news tonight, guys. That's how this show works, just in case anybody gets confused watching me. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's see. I'm just going to read headlines. I'm not even going to read too deeply into the story unless it's, you know, really, really interesting and unless I feel compelled to jump into it. So yeah, I'm going to be kind of fast. All right, info sniping. Texas Republicans approve Trump-backed congressional map to protect party's majority. Got a left-leaning bias on these articles. It's in the top news for ground news. FTC sues LA fitness operators for exceedingly difficult gym cancellation policies. It's got a center bias, which I feel like that's probably a decent bias to have. I don't know, at the same time, sometimes you can sway a certain story by saying that you have a center bias. It could be one way or the other, but, they'll say that they're a center news outlet or something along those lines, kind of like NBC or CBS, what they used to do, because they used to be more centrist, but they kind of fell overboard over the years. Judge Frank Caprio, known for viral Caught in Providence series, dies at 88. I'm not too familiar with him, but maybe you guys are. Man charged with killing an American Idol exec and husband will undergo mental evaluation. Microsoft employees' protests lead to 18 arrests as company reviews its work with Israel's military. Interesting. Microsoft employee protest leads to 18 arrests as company reviews its work with Israel's military. That is kind of interesting. Kind of feel like clicking on this one. My internet working? What happened? Why is it not working? Why can't I click it? Hello? Oh, there it goes. Worker-led protests erupted at Microsoft headquarters this week as the tech company promises to urgent review of the Israeli military's use of its technology during the ongoing war in Gaza. It's weird that I agree with this, but I hate that I agree with anything that Microsoft does. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I feel like it might be time for our own. I mean, it's just sick that they're starting to block any type of boycotting of Israel. And I feel like that really is like the free market's voice of voting out certain things. And if we can't even vote out Israel that way, through a peaceful manner that way, you know, it just starts to kind of question, okay, if you give the people little choice and you just, talking about Trump or anybody in the Trump administration, if you just play hardball with citizens, um, making them out to be criminals just for speaking out against the country's atrocities, it puts the people in a weird place of just like, okay, now this feels very tyrannical. We have a tyrant telling us that we can't talk about certain atrocities in another nation, and no one's really explaining why, and then that makes it super creepy, and then it makes people start to revolt and do crazy things, and then we start to get more and more security lockdowns, and We don't want anything like that. So that's where we have to be calm and well mannered in this whole process while we evaluate how this is going to turn out going into the future. Because it's just sick that we have to keep arguing this, and that especially Republicans were arguing such a big game on free speech for the past, I don't know, 4 to 5 years, but well beyond that, even just because they were supposedly getting canceled themselves. But really, it's just kind of like almost like getting us used to being canceled. It seems like, I don't know, kind of like just manufacturing our consent to some degree of just pushing us towards a certain, end goal. But anyways, let's keep on moving. I don't want to get tied up in this. Did I read all this? Microsoft said it was tapping a law firm to investigate allegations reported by The Guardian that the Israeli Defense Forces used Microsoft's Azure cloud computing platform to store phone call data obtained through the mass surveillance of Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. The Redmond Police Department confirmed that several protesters have been arrested after Microsoft said the protesters were trespassing. I think this happened last night. Trump administration sanctions ICC officials for efforts to arrest Americans, Israelis. On August 20th, 2025, the United States implemented new sanctions against 4 officials associated with the International Criminal Court, including judges and prosecutors from Canada and France. Sanctions follow U.S. objections to ICC investigations into alleged war crimes by U.S. and Israeli nationals without the consent of either country, escalating earlier Trump administration measures. The targeted officials include French Judge Nicolas Galau, who presided over a pretrial panel issuing an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, Canadian Judge Kimberly Prost, and 2 deputy prosecutors from Fiji and Senegal. Secretary of State Rubio criticized the court as a threat to national security, accusing it of being used to pursue legal actions against the United States and its key ally, Israel. While Netanyahu praised the sanctions as a firm responsible for what he called a campaign of false accusations targeting Israel. Sorry, I just get kind of irritated reading some of this sometimes, and I start to kind of stumble over my words. I wish we could get away from this. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I do want to check on Dan Bongino and Cash here in a second, because I don't feel like we were getting enough information about that earlier, and I kind of want to see if like Dan Bongino is denying the claims again, like he did last time, because it was only like a few weeks ago that this happened, where people were saying that Dan Bongino was going to leave, and he didn't, and he denied all the claims online, and it was just kind of like, okay, well, they lied, so I don't know. You should probably check on them. All right, let's get away from this. Is there anything else I want to read here? The U.S. barred these ICC officials from entering the country and blocked their assets. Jesus. Intensifying its pressure campaign to impede investigations, especially related to Israel and U.S. personnel in Afghanistan. I'm just worried, when are they going to start doing stuff like this to civilians? It's like, this is what feels like they're trying to normalize it. And I don't know, it's just sick, man. We really need to have free speech, and it does not feel like we're going to have it no matter what administration we get. But I don't know. we'll have to wait and see and just see how everything turns out. I don't want to speak ahead of myself. Vance and Hegseth visit D.C. guard troops as protest announced federal policing move. Judge denies Justice Department request to unseal Epstein grand jury transcripts. Really? Trump calls for Fed Governor Lisa Cook to resign after accusation of mortgage fraud. House panel to... Sorry, I was reading the other thing for a second. House panel to make Epstein files public after redactions to protect victim identities. See, I think that was from yesterday. This seems like it's a newer article. Federal judge in New York denied the government's request to unseal grand jury transcripts from the case against the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. The judge ruled that the grand jury testimony consisted only of hearsay from an FBI agent with no direct knowledge of the case. The judge stated that the Department of Justice possesses more comprehensive information on the Epstein case and should release it rather than the limited grand jury transcripts. Why not both? If there's nothing to see, you know what I mean? Why would he say that? That was kind of dumb to say, if you ask me. You don't say something like that if you want people to ignore it. Because, I mean, if it's nothing, then go ahead and show us. All right, Israel approves West Bank project. Israel has given final approval for a project that would effectively divide the West Bank, raising concerns among Palestinians that it will destroy hopes for a future state. Yeah. I mean, there's no real pushback from the Trump administration, so what can we really do at this point? I just worry that it's going to push other nations to a certain point of retaliation, and I don't think it's going to go on forever. I'm kind of worried, like, is Russia going to allow it to go on forever? Is China going to allow it to go on forever? It's just kind of wild. Rwandan backed M23 rebels in Congo. I'm not going to get into that because it's not local, it's not native to America. Environmental and natural disasters, Windermere pollution crisis, water quality tests at Lake Windermere in England revealed high levels of sewage bacteria, including E. coli. Not going to read any more of that. Hurricane Erin data collection. The U.S. Air Force conducted operations to drop ocean buoys to collect data on Hurricane Erin, aiming to improve understanding of tropical cyclones in collaboration with the U.S. Navy and partner agencies. Yeah, but how about figuring out how a way to destroy a storm rather than, trying to cook one up? Sure, we probably have that technology, we just don't really talk about it. We always talk about the negative technologies. Why do we never talk about the positive technologies? I haven't got a interesting video for us to watch later. I don't know how true it is, but if it is true, it just kind of makes you wonder, like, what are some kind of basic tools that everybody has that we can kind of start to use to modify things within our environment to a positive level. And I'll explain more on that later once I get to the video. U.S. domestic news, Target CEO steps down. Brian Cornell, CEO of Target, announced plans to step down on February 1st, 2026. Yeah, different conservatives were calling him the woke CEO of Target that was approving things like transgender clothes for kids and all this other kind of weird stuff. Jeffrey Epstein case, judge denied Justice Department's request to unseal grand jury transcripts. We just talked about that. Washington, D.C. crime and homelessness crackdown. We've been covering that for the past few days, so I'm not going to get into it. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services policy change. The agency announced that officers will now evaluate whether benefits applicants hold anti-American, anti-Semitic, or terrorist views. signaling a shift in immigration vetting processes. It's interesting they're doing all this stuff for anti-Semitic anything with immigrants, but I guess allowing Americans to speak on it. That's what's so strange about this environment right now is that it's like every other video. Like sometimes I'll just, use like the X app, like there's a TV app and, all kinds of stuff now. But you can just let the videos kind of scroll through, different videos on X on its own. And what's weird is that I'm not searching any of this stuff right now. Like, I mean, I might have searched like a few things in the past, but I definitely didn't like try to focus on it, you know? Like it was like maybe trying to search a few things that are historical related, but my feed is like just full of all of this anti-Semitic content now. And I don't create any of it. Sometimes I repost it because like I guess there's a large portion of it that appears to be true. Um, I guess at the same time, I have to kind of question, like, what kind of propaganda is being put out right now from certain players. I feel like Israeli propaganda is really easy to spot, but when it comes to maybe the other side, it might be a little bit, I don't know, might be a little bit more part of the culture at this certain point. But a lot of people are putting out these videos just pointing out, um, I guess that there's a lot of higher elite Jews that are just a part of, I guess royalty and everyday life and, you know, how did 2% of the population just get to certain level? And I mean, it's just a cultural question right now. There's nothing anti-Semitic about it. It's kind of a weird cultural noticing of certain things and people are just starting to kind of latch on to the idea and I think a lot of it actually kind of comes from the government resisting talking about these things or allowing people to talk about these things, which is weird because it just stimulates the conversation even more. You tell people not to talk about certain things, it makes them just want to blow up about it. And I think that's what this is, but you know, hopefully it's not rage baiting people to act out in any type of violent ways. Sometimes they even get like a lot of weird racist stuff on X, and I'm just kind of like, where is this content coming from? Like, I'm not searching for this stuff half the time. Um, I mean, I don't know, like I do a lot of research, and sometimes I'll just search random things. So I mean, maybe it's pulling from like some old, search that I did a long time ago, but I have no clue. It's just kind of like if I haven't done it recently, then I'll just kind of like question like where is Grok or where is this algorithm getting some of this I don't know, push to want to push certain content on me. Like I'm not I'm never searching out anti-Semitic content or, any type of, you know, anti-Jew stuff half the time. Like if I'm looking for something in history just to kind of question something, it doesn't mean that it's anti-Semitic. It's just trying to understand, what happened with who's and no, what happened at a certain time and what certain groups were involved. That's what I meant to say. And, sometimes Christians are involved, sometimes Jews are involved, sometimes Muslims are involved, I'm just saying, like, different groups can be involved, and you kind of need to know who those groups are if they are involved. So it's not anything anti anybody, you know? And I'm starting to even kind of question, like, if they're going to keep throwing this word around, like anti Semitic, it's like, what do you say back? It's like, well, you're being anti Christian, you're being anti white, you're being anti, American. I don't know. It's getting to a weird place now, and we have to definitely protect American citizens. Like, if it's just a way to remove certain um, bad players in the country out of here, then I guess that's where. I don't have as much of a problem with it, but at the same time, I just don't think that that particular one needs to be thrown in there. I think we should just be saying anti-American. If we have any type of anti-American interest, you could say, which I don't want American interest to be anything involved with Israel, but since we can't get away from it, maybe you could just say, anyone that holds any anti-American interests, rather than anti-Semitic. I just think, I don't know, we got to get away from this word, this anti-Semitic word. Like, it's nothing about hate towards the Jews. It's really, or any Semitic tribes or anything, because there's more than just Jews a part of Semitic tribes that I've heard at least. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but yeah, I just know that there's other tribes involved, and you know, it's not just them. It doesn't just apply to Jews. Anyways, enough about Jews. Texas congressional redistricting. Texas House approved new congressional maps. We talked about that yesterday. Vendetta demerger challenges. All right, let's get into some of today's topic. Google's Flow hits milestone. Google's AI filmmaking tool, Flow, reached 100 million videos created since its May launch. I haven't tried that one. Do y'all like that? I haven't. I might try out different AI video creation tools here soon. I know Grok 4 just became free, and Imagine. I haven't had much time to actually play with it though, so I'm definitely going to be trying to work on some of that stuff maybe next week or something. Remember, I told you guys I was gonna maybe start to branch out away from gaming a little bit. I'm still gonna game every now and again, but I might not do it as often just because I want to expand on the channel. I want to do different things. I'm getting older, and I'm not gonna stop gaming completely, but we did start this channel with gaming, and we did kind of develop it into a news channel as well as a gaming channel, and now it's time to kind of evolve a little bit more. So we'll get into that more next week. Have some more fun projects. Anyways, I think I want to jump in today's topic now. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, I was just going to talk about some of the CIA's structure to some degree. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I don't know, this is Wikipedia, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this is approved by the CIA to give it to Wikipedia. And as much shit that Wikipedia gets, they do tend to be right. They might get a few things wrong, but there's, hopefully this isn't totally jacked up. There have been some people that edit certain portions of Wikipedia and they'll be wildly wrong and they'll just be left bias leaning. But I think the Central Intelligence Agency is kind of left biased anyways, so they probably have a good Wikipedia page. What's another page I could ask? I think I did ask, I'll get to that in a second. This is actually from the Black Ops 6 game. It's all these like pop-ups everywhere. So yeah, this is why I named tonight's episode Advanced Technologies and Applications. This is a fake division of the CIA in the Black Ops 6 video game. Looks like it also appears in Warzone 2.0. What it says here. But this is the agency that I was in last night. If anybody watched my video from last night, in Black Ops 6, and I just thought it was an interesting kind of add-in of the game series because I was just like, what is this branch? And it has like a very similar Illuminati almost like symbol here. I know it is the all-seeing eye, and that does tend to be a symbol of probably many different cultures to some degree, just depending on what you want to pull from the most. But definitely things like the Freemasons, definitely associated with the Illuminati, and I don't know, other similar organizations. And even things like on the US dollar, you know, had a dollar somewhere. I don't know where it went, but uh, yeah, it's everywhere. They put the All Saint Eye everywhere, man. They like the pyramids. I like diamonds. Diamonds. I don't know. Diamonds are cool. Anyways, um, let's see. USATA was a Black Ops research program funded and operated by the Central Intelligence Agency. It was run under Pantheon Special Activities Division when they were part of the CIA. Background: when active during the 1970s, the Advanced Technologies and Applications programs was established somewhere in eastern Kentucky. It was established with the covert name Cosper Solutions. In 1981, Russell Adler joined Advanced Technologies and Applications as a visiting researcher and was granted 3.36 security clearance by Advanced Technologies and Applications. However, what he was working on with the CIA scientists there is unknown. At some point in that same year, William Case Calderon volunteered himself to be a test subject in the Cradle program, a covert program with the USATA, which attempted to imbue individuals with heightened senses and strength-enhancing abilities akin to that of a super soldier. However, Case became mentally unstable and violent beyond USATA's containment procedures and escape managed to escape the program. He then sabotaged the entire facility by contaminating it with the Cradle program's virus, compromising the entire premises. After the incident, the USATA was shut down by the CIA under the order of Daniel Livingstone, and the Pantheon was formally disavowed. And I'll save the rest for the game. But just in case I can't get through a certain part tonight, I just want to go ahead and apologize if we can't play Call of Duty 6 tonight. I'll just switch over to Cyberpunk 2077 if it doesn't work. Last night I ran into a bug. Um, it did update tonight, so I'm kind of hoping it might have fixed that bug, but I couldn't get past a certain point in the game last night. And yeah, for whatever reason, like I was facing some type of interdimensional monster or something, and it wouldn't pop up again, and I couldn't fight it because of it, and I had to kind of quit prematurely last night. So hopefully we can get through it. We are going to go back to the Advanced Technologies and Applications CIA facility, or whatever you want to call it, again in the game. But yeah, let's get into some of the real CIA structure. Because I got curious last night. I was like, is this a real CIA facility? And if it was, then I guess it's not mentioned in any type of, I don't know, real CIA thingy. Let's see. I'm gonna get another window open here. Let's see what Brave says about this. I might even get Grok involved. Why not? Let's get Grok involved. I keep saying that Grok is the most intelligent AI out there, and I don't know if I agree with that. Let's see here. That looks like a load of shit, man. Brave, you're not keeping up with I don't know, the organizational structure. Like this is too much of a CIA is led by the Director of the Central Intelligence Agency, DCIA, who reports to the Director of National Intelligence, DNI, and advises the President. Anyways, let's go back to this because this is actually going to be structured. I know, guys, like, I don't like using Wikipedia either, but it is a little bit more structured so I can kind of breeze through it a little bit better. There's a lot more here than I expected. Holy crap! I'm not reading all that. We'll breeze through it. Going to speed read. Central Intelligence Agency, informally known as the agency or the company. What? Who calls it that? I don't call it that. I call it the shit IA. I'm just kidding. A U.S. intelligence agency that provides objective intelligence on foreign countries. Bullshit. And U.S. domestic nonsense as well. Why everybody's just kind of like question you half the time that you're following everybody here in America as well. It's basically what the NSA is kind of for, but the NSA works in conjunction with the CIA pretty closely. CIA is part of the United States intelligence community and is organized into numerous organization subdivisions, including directorates, centers, staffs, divisions, groups, offices, and branches. That's a lot of shit. We need to shave some of this shit off. You ask me. And then we need to station them overseas so they can't hurt anybody. We need to revoke their clearances and all kinds of cool stuff. You gonna stay overseas, motherfuckers? It is overseen by the Director of Central Intelligence and is divided into 5 directorates supported by several offices of staff and 11 mission centers. As of June 2025, the directorates are Director of Analysis, Director of Operations, Director of Science and Technology, Director of Digital Innovation, Director of Support. Sounds pretty basic. What if I did this? Let's do this. Is and Black Ops 6. No. 6. No, 6. No, I'm not trying to say 666. I'm just trying to. I was typing the wrong thing. I'll have a bunch of like conspiracy theorists being like, "Look, he said it! Look!" His advanced technologies and applications in Black Ops 6 real. It's not real, but I'll just see what it says. Yeah, it's a fictional element within the game's narrative. It serves as a central location for the campaign mission Emergence. Players must infiltrate the abandoned facility to find director keys and assess the biotechnology wing. The facility is a part of the game's lore established by Black Ops Research program funded by the CIA. See, it's a Black Ops research, so you wouldn't know about it. Like Black Ops, what Black Ops is basically dark money. You know, it's programs that aren't available to the public. So if this program ever did really exist, like they wouldn't tell you about it. So I'm just gonna end right there with that particular search. But yeah, it's cool though. I mean, well, I don't know if it's cool because it might have been doing some evil shit, but um, I don't know if a lot of the stories around MK Ultra, or let's just say, if like the CIA found interdimensional portals of some kind. That's what this kind of makes me wonder about, just because of what's going on in the particular levels. We did have Anna Paulina Luna, um, someone a part of the Trump administration, come out recently saying that there's evidence of these interdimensional type energy beings or something. And that's what this thing in the game kind of resembled. That's why it's just kind of like, well, is there any realness to some of this, stuff that they're throwing in some of these games? Makes you kind of wonder. Like even like Outlast had something kind of similar. We played that recently, where you had like these interdimensional type monsters at the end of the game. You didn't really fight them or anything, you're just running from them. Still. Alright. Executive offices. Previously the Director of Central Intelligence, DCI, oversaw the intelligence community, IC, serving as President's Principal Intelligence Advisor, which I don't think Trump has been taking advice from the CIA or many intelligence agencies, which is concerning. I think you should definitely pay attention more to what people are saying on X or Truth. I don't even know how many people are actually using Truth Social, to be honest with you. So I don't even think Trump needs to be using that as a source of where the people are at right now. I don't know. Currently, the Central Intelligence Agency answers directly to Director of National Intelligence, although the CIA director may brief the president directly. So, Tulsi Gabbard is basically the leader of the CIA if everyone is reporting to her. Let's go on down here. Deputy Director of the CIA. Who is that right now? This guy, Michael Ellis. He looks kind of creepy. He definitely looks like CIA. He looks like a tiny man. I just kind of realized he has like very short shoulders. You a tiny man. Alright, let's go on down here. Relationship with Congress. I was going to say that they control Congress. Is that what it's going to say? That's what I'm going to say. It says support to the military. Yeah, a lot of fucked up shit, probably. Alright, this is one thing I definitely wanted to focus on because I remember reading a little bit of this just because I thought it was interesting. Covert Action Authorities. President George W. Bush, in creating the National Clandestine Service, NCS, set a clear policy that the CIA would be in charge of all human intelligence, HUMINT operations. NCS, formerly the Directorate of Operations, and earlier the Directorate of Plans, performs clandestine human intelligence collection and conducts deniable psychological operations. Conducts deniable psychological operations, PSYOPs, and paramilitary operations. Special Activities Center, SAC, is the NCS's unit responsible for covert action and special activities. These special activities include the covert political influence and paramilitary operations. Special Operations Group, SOG, is element with SAC responsible for paramilitary operations. They recruit solely from the Joint Special Operations Command and are then trained through an extensive course to become a clandestine intelligence officer. That kind of makes me wonder, like, is clandestine on X, is he CIA? That would kind of make sense if he is. I mean, his name is War Clandestine, but I'm not saying he is. I don't know. I don't know what he says he claims to be, but I am starting to kind of question a lot more, like, who is a part of, like, the CIA and um, how many of these faces that we have kind of grown to familiarize ourselves to some degree, how many of them, like even within like the conservative community, like we already know like some are probably definitely within mainstream media and different leftist talking heads to some degree. Well, if they are going to have controlled opposition, they would have some on both sides. And it makes you wonder too, like who are the independent media CIA operatives out there that might, take advantage of I don't know, just I mean, we actually have like real CIA, ex-CIA people having podcasts now. Mike Benz and a few others. They've kind of started to grow their social media presence, and I mean, they don't hide it. So it makes you wonder who are the people that are still kind of activated and put on that whole show or act. Covert action authorities come from the National Security Act of 1947, which is I think the same act. Yeah, it's the same act that created the Air Force and the CIA. They were kind of bundled together. Now there is kind of like another, I don't know, underlying link between the Air Force and the CIA to some degree through this. Let's see, President Ronald Reagan issued Executive Order 12333 titled United States Intelligence Activities in 1984. This order defined covert action as both political and military activities that the U.S. government could legally deny and grant them exclusively to the CIA. The CIA was also designated as the sole authority under the 1991 Intelligence Authorization Act and mirrored in Title 50 of the United States Code, Section 413E. The Pentagon commissioned a study to determine whether the CIA or the Department of Defense should conduct covert action paramilitary operations. Their study determined that the CIA should maintain its capability and be the sole government agency conducting covert action. The DoD found that it does not have the legal authority to conduct covert action, nor the agility to carry out these types of missions. So, is that like good cop, bad cop? Because the Pentagon was for it. Yeah, because like the Pentagon was for it and the DoD found it does not have legal authority. What's a stalemate? I guess they're still doing it. I mean, I would assume, unless Tulsi has gutted it by this point, I would hope. Maybe she's started to do so, but she seems like she's cutting into it pretty well. Let me, I don't want to take up the whole. Well, actually, since this, advanced technologies and applications is similar to this, Directorate of Science and Technology. I'll cover this real quick and we'll be done with this. The Director of Science and Technology creates and applies innovative technology in support of the intelligence collection mission. The CIA has always shown a strong interest in how to use advances in technology to enhance its effectiveness. This interest in modern technology came from two main aims. Firstly, to harness these techniques, its own use, and second, to counter any new technologies the Soviet Union might develop. Yeah, because that's the big baddie, I'm sure it probably hasn't changed up until this day. Maybe it's starting to. But I don't know. I think the CIA should definitely rethink its relationship with Russia. And Russia should rethink its relationship with us. Like, we just need to. Um, we need to think about allyship. We don't have to infiltrate each other's countries, by doing so. But um, I don't know. I just think the CIA has had such an adversarial role in all of this that we just need to rethink and um, just try to work together. Even try to. We just need to think about just trying to subvert the enemy instead of, well, subvert the enemy in the sense of diverting them from trying to attack us by being good to them, in my opinion. You know, there is some, there is such a thing as positive psychological operations, even though that's not really talked about. I actually had a music playlist called Positive Psyops. I think that's what I called it. Yeah, something along those lines. Anyways, so yeah, they were developing stuff against the Soviet Union, but I'm sure they were creating all kinds of things. The website mentions its priorities belong in application software and analytics, bio, nuclear, and chemical technologies, communications and infrastructure, digital identity and security, embedded systems, and power. All right, I'm done here. I'm done here. Let's see what Tulsi's up to real quick. Tulsi Gabbard, 5 hours ago. DNI Tulsi Gabbard says, today I'm launching ODNI 2.0, the first step toward bringing about transformational change that is based on cutting bloated bureaucracy, rooting out deep state actors, and restoring mission focus. When implementation is complete, ODNI will be more agile, efficient, and effective, reducing our organization by more than 40%, saving taxpayers $700 plus million per year. Wow, that's quite a bit. So no more. I mean, that's a lot. 700 plus million dollars per year, allegedly. So more and more cuts. Let's see, this is from yesterday. Gunther Eagleman says DNI and Tulsi Gabbard just made another rare appearance on Fox, and wow, she is not messing around with Russiagate. I want to say that was the 37 people that were cut. Tulsi knows the politicization of national intelligence began under Barack Obama. Everything leads back to him.
Thanks, Rob. You know, I started here. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence, as you know, was created almost 20 years ago in the wake of the horrific intelligence failures that surrounded the Islamist terrorist attack on 9/11 here in our country. So the ODNI was created with a very simple purpose, a very simple but critical mission, which was to ensure that intelligence from across the intelligence community was actually being integrated, that people were talking to each other and sharing intelligence, not leaving it in silos, and to exercise oversight to make sure that the intelligence being provided to the President of the United States, to Congress, to different policymakers was timely, relevant, and apolitical. Unbiased and objective intelligence to best inform some of the most critical decisions that the leaders in our country make, foremost among them the President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief. 20 years later, here we sit now where ODNI has more than doubled in size, bloated with bureaucracy, inefficiencies and redundancies, wasting taxpayer dollars, but actually getting in the way of the mission that it was charged to do. As you mentioned, it's become rife with politicization and weaponization of intelligence, some of which we've revealed and released over the last few weeks that has occurred under previous directors and previous administrations. And so rooting out those deep state actors who are violating the oath that every intelligence professional swears to the Constitution of the United States and ultimately undermining this core national security mission that those at ODNI are charged with, that the intelligence community is charged with. So today's announcement is the first step to aggressively get after our core national security mission, root out those deep state actors, and really focus on delivering what the American people deserve.
When did this all get broken? Was it under Obama? I mean, do you have any estimation of when this all started to fail? And when did politics seep into something like intelligence, which is just so toxic?
Well, you know, I think when we go back 20 years ago, when this organization was first stood up, Ultimately, it made some progress in integrating intelligence, but the reality is, as we've just revealed over these last few weeks, under the Obama administration, which came very quickly, we saw that deep hand of politicization within this organization, ODNI, but also in CIA and the FBI, across the NSA, across the intelligence community, which tells us very clearly what I think most of us already knew, which was politicization of intelligence existed long before, and we've seen a lot of different examples of that.
And the 37 that you've stripped of security clearances, these current and former intelligence officials are a part of that problem.
That's right.
These are not household names. Is when I looked through the list, I didn't really recognize any of the names. Maybe one or two I had seen before.
Oh, good. Me
They're not
neither.
People that generally you would know. Who exactly are they, and what did they do to earn that, to earn the stripping of that clearance?
Yeah, well, holding a security clearance, it really speaks about trust.
Yeah.
Trust in those who have a security clearance that they will protect our nation's secrets and that they will abide by the Constitution and act in the best interests of the American people. Those who were on that list that we released yesterday, where I directed, at President Trump's direction, the revocation of their security clearances came about because they broke that trust. A number of different examples, people who leaked, conducted unauthorized leaks of intelligence to their friends in the propaganda media, those who participated in this Russiagate hoax, the manufactured intelligence assessment that came after President Trump was elected in 2016
that Russia
went on
wanted
to...
Trump. Yeah.
Exactly. Creating a document that they knew was false, falsely claiming that Putin wanted to help get Trump elected, when really the intelligence in the months leading up to the election said exactly the opposite. So bottom line is, these individuals, and there are more, unfortunately chose to put their own self-interest, their own personal ambition, their own political interests ahead of the oath that they took to the Constitution and taking action to serve the best interests of the American people.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Gonna move on away from this. I'm gonna repost that. Did post this yesterday. I didn't see that video yesterday, or else I would have played it yesterday, but it is kind of relevant to what she is saying today. But yeah. I reposted this as well if you want to go find that. Elon Musk says code with Grok. Grums says, I have been coding the past week just using Grok. This is the first time I've been able to rely on AI 100% of the code. Never been able to do that before, not with ChatGPT or with Claude. Or Cloud.
Well, if you're not fed up yet, you should be, because we got a big problem.
You know what? I'm not going to play this video. You guys can go watch it if you want to. I just don't feel like I want to play it on the channel. But you're welcome to go play it. Redacted says Pentagon scientists and whistleblowers have revealed in classified briefings that there are not one or two, but 4 distinct types of aliens already here on Earth. And they say this is just the beginning of what we are about to learn. So, I've heard these theories for a long time. I mean, I don't know how true they're really becoming to be. There was a interesting claim recently from one of the Epstein victims, alleged victims of Epstein. And not to discredit her in any type of way, I do kind of question if maybe she might have went through some type of trauma to make her feel like she might have saw some extra things that she didn't see. But, like, I'm not going to discount her and say that these things aren't real. It's just more or less, I'm trying to pay attention to what could or could not be a psyop. You know, we don't want to be propagandized through certain influencers online, that certain narratives are entirely true. We have lots of talk about UFOs that might show up in November or something like that. It was just like a few weeks ago that a lot of people were coming out and saying that that there's some craft or something that's headed directly towards Earth, at light speed or, some super fast speed. It's going to arrive in November. Whether that happens or not, I'm not too sure, but there's other people saying that if they ever try to say that this is going to happen, let's just say like a alien an alien invasion or something along those lines, to be aware that it's all fake. They're just trying to create some type of fear for some type of diversion, and you can believe one way or the other. But here we have redacted somebody that, or at least a group of people, ex-Fox people. I'll also kind of note on. Um, and I like these people. I'm not trying to say that they are associated with any type of government group or organization or anything. But at the same time, if, let's just say, Operation Mockingbird was still going on, kind of confirmed through Tulsi recently, then that could also say that, well, what's stopping the CIA from having Operation Mockingbird within the independent media arena? I mean, it's not hard to believe, and these are ex-Fox people. I'm not saying, anyone in Fox right now is a part of the CIA, but, we can't also say that they're not. It's not like the CIA is going to tell you who their contractors are. Um, I don't know. That's what makes me just kind of wonder sometimes, like, is there some type of um, is there some type of CIA contractor list, in which I'm not calling for anybody to put in danger, but if there are certain people that need to be held accountable for certain crimes, that's where something like that would be useful because, well, we want to get rid of the criminals, we want to get rid of the corrupt people within our government, and that also even means holding the certain corrupt people that we're firing right now accountable for their actions, which hopefully Tulsi is way ahead of on. But I'm not going to cover too much on this. I'm just going to cover a brief little
Well,
portion.
there are 4 classifications of aliens here on Earth. Those aren't my words. Those are the words of highly respected Pentagon scientists and whistleblowers in classified briefings and private briefings. We've also heard this separately in our own reporting here at Redacted, so not just from the government side of this. Are we getting close to alien disclosure by the U.S. government? It sure seems that way, with a raft of new revelations in the past few weeks. At a recent UFO hearing on Capitol Hill, physicist Dr. Eric Davis, who you can see there in the sort of tan jacket, he worked on top secret Pentagon projects. He told members of Congress under oath that there are 4 different types of aliens that have a possibility of being operators of unidentified crafts. He witnessed them perhaps firsthand and even heard from other sources at secondhand. I'm not exactly clear on that. The 4 distinct alien types that he claims are this: Greys, Nordics, insectoids, and reptilians. Now, he answered that question directly when Congressman Eric Burlison asked him that question. He was sitting right next to him. There you can see him to his right, Missouri Representative Eric Burlison, member of the House Oversight Committee and UAP caucus. And after the...
I'm not going to lie, like this guy over here, I mean, I don't know who's who or who's, what, but I don't know. This guy looks CIA. Just going by looks. I have no clue. Just my opinion. And I guess he's looking over at him and he's asking him. Is that what he's saying? And like I said, I have no clue about one way or the other. It's just more or less, I've gotten to this weird place now where I just don't trust almost any narrative. One thing that's kind of strange to me about this whole alien thing is this right here. So they're saying there's a particular alien race called the Nordics. And, you can't help but notice how much they look like white Europeans or something. And I have no clue if they're just human-like and they look identical to humans. So it's just kind of like, okay, that's weird. And not to mention that there is you know, I guess an area that used to be called, kind of like Norsemen, where you had more northern European or even like, I guess, parts of Russia to some degree, and Norway and Scandinavia and all these different places. They're kind of like known as like the Norse. Um, but yeah, I mean, they were kind of like called different things. I mean, they were called Nordics. So we're being told to, and I guess to believe that these are aliens now. It's just weird. Like I'm not saying these people don't exist. If they do, I mean, maybe I'm one of them because like I've got some Scandinavian in me. It just kind of makes me kind of wonder, like, okay, well, is this actually true, or is this just like some kind of weird overhype, or even, I don't know, the whole blonde hair, blue eye overhype, the Aryan thing. I don't know. You see where I'm going with this? Like, I don't know. It just seems very strange that they would include this within the alien groups, because that wasn't the only one. There was the Greys. It's like the stereotypical alien that everybody kind of knows and loves. It's the flying saucer disc. The what was that movie? Paul. That was actually a pretty funny movie. I kind of want to watch it again. Kind of like a stoner movie. Got the Nordics. And where's the reptilians at? I thought he showed the reptilians. Reptilians are mentioned somewhere too. Just don't know where they're at. I don't feel like diving too much into the video anymore, but it's like 15 minutes long. That's the main reason why I don't want to dive into it. I want to start the game before too long. But I also wanted to touch on this real quick. This video is about a week old now, and I've already played it on the channel, but we are going to play it again real quick just because of the relevancy of, I guess, what we're going to try to play in the game tonight. You'll see what I mean later whenever I actually play. I'm going to try to play here soon too, because I know I'm going over an hour. They call them interdimensional beings, coming from Luna. Luna and Rogan go deep on the reports of an interdimensional aspect to the UFO phenomenon.
I can also tell you, and this might sound crazy, but based on our investigations and stuff that we've seen, okay, there is definitely something that I think would rival what we know currently with physics, and a tech that potentially is out there that we don't have the ability to reproduce, because it would basically be like dropping a cell phone right off back during the time of maybe the caveman. So like we just don't have the tech to develop it yet. What I can also tell you is, based on our interviews, and this has been something that you can go back and watch with the congressional hearings, but I was actually able to ask some of the witnesses, what are these things? And they keep saying interdimensional, and then when you talk about the interdimensional aspect of, are these things pre-existing, maybe outside of what we currently know as our own dimension, that stuff can kind of all sound crazy, but at the end of the day, my job as an investigator is to receive all the information, decipher it, and then ultimately, from a congressional aspect, if you do have contractors that are withholding information or operating outside of the purview of the federal government, I mean, there's budgetary issues, but there's definitely something that I can tell you with confidence that exists that we don't know how to explain currently.
So when you say that it operates outside our understanding of physics, what specifically are you saying? Like what happened?
To I guess break it down in simple terms is that I think that some of the tech that exists, that whatever these things have, these energy things have,
energy things? What do you mean?
Well, they call them interdimensional beings. I think that they can actually operate through the time spaces that we currently have, and that's not something that I came up with on my own. That's based on stuff that we've seen. That's based on information that we've been told. And then also, too, I think that there's this historical aspect of, this gets into the deeper theories and concepts of religion. And I think the history that we currently know, and that kind of spins off into another topic of, you have the modern day Bible, you have this aspect of Bibles or books of the Bible that have been removed that explain and kind of touch on these topics. And I think that we're in a time and age where you have such a vast amount of information that we have access to via social media, via your cell phone, via the internet. And so it's really changing the way that we understand, you know, the origins of life and the spiritual reality that we know.
When you
currently.
say interdimensional beings, that they know that these are interdimensional beings, how do they know that?
That, so based on testimony, would be based on witnesses that have come forward. But what I can tell
So
you
the
is
witnesses just were told that they were
no,
interdimensional?
that they've seen things. And what I can tell you without getting into classified conversations
Got the game
is that
starting up.
there have been incidences that I believe where very credible people have reported that there have been movement outside of time and space.
That's very vague.
Yeah. So look,
Yeah, there is lots of weird vagueness to a lot of these accusations. That's why I'm just kind of like, you know, maybe we should be a little bit more sane about the whole UFO topic and not try to be too fearful or too persuaded by odd narratives. Like, let's just try to, I don't know, focus on what's real, what we know is real, and if they happen to be real later, we won't be surprised by it. We'll just be like, oh, cool, well, you're here, and, you know, what do we do now? Are we on the same team? Are we fighting each other? I don't know, I kind of want the Nordics to be on our side. They kind of seem, I don't know, hopefully nice. I've all heard about reptilians. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say about the reptilian. It's not what I was gonna say. About the Epstein victim. She said that she saw a reptilian in her, or that Epstein turned into a reptilian or something along those lines. Really, man? It always does that. I gotta restart the game real quick. It said it updated, and then I had to restart. So, give me just a second on that. While that does its thing, let's go over here. Relations between Australia and Israel have completely collapsed. Netanyahu says history will remember Australia's prime minister as a weak politician who betrayed Israel and abandoned Australia's Jews. It's from yesterday. President Trump just revealed that during negotiations, one of the leaders asked him to meet again on the war in a month or two. I said, a month or two, you're going to have another 4,000 people dead. You have to do it tonight.
And one of the things at the table was one of the gentlemen, who's a great guy, but he said, I hope I didn't insult him. He said, well, let's meet in another month or two, and let's see if we can start, making some money. I said, a month or two? You could have another 40,000 people dead in a month or two. You have to do it tonight. And I did, actually. I called President Putin, and we're trying to work out a meeting with President Zelensky. We'll see what happens there. And then if it works out, then I'll go to the trilat and close it up. And one of the things at the table...
ICE arrests convicted child predator on National Mall. ICE agents arrested a Mexican national on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. during an immigration enforcement operation. The man previously charged with aggravated sexual assault of a child under 13 attempted to flee while screaming pleas in Spanish, but he was quickly detained. Their video. Stephen Miller, why are you defending a criminal illegal alien invader charged with sexually assaulting a child? Jessica Tarlov? Yeah, that is kind of strange. Jessica Tarlov has just deleted a post where she defends an illegal alien who raped a 13-year-old girl. Nice. Let's repost that. MSNBC will now be known as MS Now. Mr. Sugar says, I guess MS-13 was taken. APAC insider spilling the beans. Brilliant listen. Keep exposing the evil and identifying the compromised. I like this channel.
Back when I first started APAC, Steve Rosen, who was my
Easter-
boss
or no,
and was
sorry,
later
Earth
indicted for
hippie.
espionage against the United States. I know, like, he's still around though. You're allowed to get indicted for espionage. Depends who you're doing it for. He sent me a now famous memo. It's now famous because I gave it to the Washington Post. He wrote, he warned me not to ever talk, this is my second day there, never to talk about APAC activities outside the lobby. He wrote, a lobby is a night flower. It thrives in the dark and shrivels up in the sunlight. I think that may be happening now thanks to all our efforts. If it does, not only the United States, but the world will be better off. This night flower needs crushing. Back when I first started APAC, Steve Rosen, who was my boss, and was
I was looking at this over here. It looks like Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Massino is changing not only the logo of Cracker Barrel, but looks like possibly the inside of Cracker Barrel. And it looks like a Waffle House. Wow. So this is the old Cracker Barrel. The one everybody loves and adores. Damn. I don't know, man. The pancake's still gonna be as good if they change everything. I don't know. I don't really go to Cracker Barrel anymore. Not much anymore. I'll be going even less so now, if that's the case. Trump HUD has proposed kicking out able-bodied adults after 2 years on Section 8 housing subsidies, which currently have no time limits or work requirements. That's retarded. Well, that's good that he's doing that. Alright. Let me get this game going in the background.
Does someone want to explain what the hell is going on here? Why isn't this the top story of every single media outlet? Why isn't every single politician screaming from the rooftops about this? The executive director of Israel's National Cyber Directorate was arrested in Las Vegas in a child predator ring sting. He worked under Netanyahu, so he was allowed to go back to Israel without trial. The Israeli government lied and said he wasn't actually arrested. Then what the fuck is this? So this Israeli guy, who's one of the top officials under Netanyahu for national cybersecurity for the Israeli regime and AI for defense, is a child predator. American media is totally ignoring this. How much you want to bet Aaron Parnas is not going to cover this? Nevada's Internet Crime Against Children Task Force helmed an operation which resulted in the arrest of Alexandrovich and 7 other men in the city of Henderson, which is near Las Vegas. All the suspects believed they were meeting minors when the undercover officers instead confronted and arrested them. So Nevada officials actually did all the work to do this sting on this guy, on this Israeli cybersecurity official, Tom Alexandrovich, arrested him, charged him, he made bail, and then he fled the country to the Israeli regime. And then the Israeli regime said it was no big deal and lied and said that he wasn't charged. Why did the Trump administration allow this to happen? Where's Pam Bondi?
That's
I saw
my
this tweet
point.
last night before I even knew this story. But it's literally,
why did Trump
Pam
just
Bondi's
allow
spending
all
her
this up-
time going after some random
just
guy
slide by?
who threw a Sammy at a police officer? But you don't have anything to say about this? You don't have anything to say about this, Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Where's the Trump administration? Where are you, MAGA? I thought you guys cared about this. No, not only are
I
you
do.
not getting the Epstein list, they're actively, currently helping predators escape the country. Maybe you guys should ask them why that is and why no one's talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I sympathize with certain leftists saying, you know, Trump is being a pedo protector if he's going to turn a blind cheek to a lot of this stuff. It's just wild that even with all this stuff in the news every single day, that they would even attempt to do such a thing. Like, these people have no shame. Sitting member of Congress just revealed bombshell UFO whistleblower testimonies. One whistleblower said, "There is a structure in the deep ocean." Another said he spoke to aliens. They told him the truth about Jesus. And the most exciting part, members of Trump's cabinet want the truth to be released. All of it. Looks like it's a space and like people talking the entire time. Seems like an interesting listen if anybody wants to go check it out. I'm not gonna get my hopes up for it. I've hoped for it for a long time, so I'm just kind of like, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, well. Oh yeah, we got AIs competing in AI models. I'm gonna start this game, don't worry. So yeah, this is each AI, and they have a different girl for each. Take them all. Anyways. Yeah, we just talked about that. Yeah, where's the actual... Yeah, this is the rebrand. This is what the new logo looks like. It's all plain and stupid.
Welcome back to the White News Network. I'm your host, Bradley Paperplate. Tonight's story, an innocent white woman is in critical condition after eating seasoned food. HOA President Becky Blanderson was innocently shopping for sunscreen at Whole Foods when a young urban boy offered her a sample of rotisserie chicken. Shoppers said Becky collapsed to the floor immediately after taking a bite. Members of the Neighborhood Watch responded heroically by pepper spraying the urban boy. Local police were on the scene in 15 seconds, apprehending the suspicious character and providing Becky with a valet escort to Mayonnaise Medical Center. Doctors at Mayo Medical administered a life-saving dose of Xanax and Pinot Grigio to Becky, and are telling reporters she suffered from severe flavor exposure. Using extreme interrogation methods on the suspect, police learned that this wasn't just any chicken, it was blackened chicken. Citizens of Privilegeville have been told to remain in their homes and inform their HOA if they see anything suspicious.
Citizens of Privilegeville.
Authorities are currently searching for the rest of this blackened chicken and have been instructed to fire on site.
All right, last one, I
In
swear.
Iran, you can see in the war in June, they will literally target a single apartment with a drone strike. It's so precise, it's so targeted. They're doing assassination strikes with drones. They will hit one apartment. Forget about the whole building and the whole city. And so if you can detonate pagers and radios, if you can blow up one apartment, if you're the most sophisticated military with precision-guided munitions, how are you accidentally destroying 90% of the buildings and committing 100,000 civilian casualties and shooting children and people getting aid? At that point, it's intentional. And you look at what they say, which is, this is an ethnic cleansing. They say, we want all these people out of the land. Now, there's an argument to be made about how do you carry that out? I mean, what is the solution to Israel-Palestine? But you know the solution is not starving children to death and shooting innocent people that are defenseless and getting aid,
Why is it
blowing
loading
up their
so fast
homes so they
tonight?
have nowhere to go.
What the hell?
You know that's wrong. So that's where I come at it from.
I might have to restart the mission if it doesn't get
Israelis
past
have
this
a case
glitch.
to make that this is not an ideal living situation for them. At the same time, we all have moral responsibility, especially now.
Okay, so let me close out some of these windows. All right. So I want to remind everybody, I got stuck here last night. If I'm unable to get past this monster that I'm fighting, I'm gonna, I guess, maybe try to restart the mission and redo all the parts, and maybe it will allow me to get past it the next time around. But if I have to restart this, or even have to play a different game, I'm just gonna warn you ahead of time. I can't get past this part, I might have to jump into like Cyber 2077 or something. Or I'm sorry, Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. Anyways, let's try it out. See if he's still here. It's like right next to me, bud. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, I guess I just have to restart the mission.
Seb, how's it going on your side?
Still looking for a way in. The north doors are totally sealed. You?
Case and I are in South Gate utility entrance. Looks like someone's been through here recently. Used a freight elevator. Chains broken. All right, mask going. Your turn. Hey, stop! Hang on, I'm... Hey! Well, you're still alive, that's something. Seven and I will look for another way down. I'll let you know once we're inside. Go ahead and see if you can find the biotech entrance. Be careful. Try to limit any more exposure. Whatever's in here.
I want some music. I gotta replay everything again. I want some music. gonna turn this music down and turn my music up. Where's the music volume? There it is. One last thing. Let's turn up just a little bit. Alright, here we go. This is the Advanced Technologies and Applications Center.
Biotechnology restricted. Please see security for access.
It's for you.
Fantastic to see you in Case 1. How have you been feeling? A friendly reminder that most of the facility is off limits to patients. I hope you understand.
Welcome back, Case. Biotechnology restricted by security access 4.
Bringing back memories yet? I thought we'd never see this place again. Those are the stairs we want. Don't worry, the cradle can't hurt us anymore. We're special. Special since we first experienced the cradle. 10 years ago.
Fuck. I have an odd song for right now.
Did we forget to pick something up?
If you made it to advanced combat research, you must have friends who
Forget the key card.
Oh yeah, that one. Hey, what are you talking about? I already picked it up.
Don't leave without the key card. We earned it.
Oh, this one. I didn't even know I killed that thing.
Excellent work, Ace. 3 more key cards to go. Try another cup. We're stronger and faster than the rest of us. That's what the cradle was originally designed to do.
The hell?
Director key card accepted.
Track it down, Case. It has the key card.
Alright, this is the glitch monster. I want to shoot it. I tried doing that like 5 times. Oh fuck.
It's hiding.
Is there a way to bring it out? Maybe like a button or something. What am I missing, man? What am I supposed to do? What is up with this glitch? Alright, I'm gonna look this up real quick. Alright. I guess I could have just turned that down. I didn't have to turn it off. It was just loud for a second. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna look this up real quick because I don't know what the hell's going on. What is this called? The mission's called Emergence, I guess? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Okay, that's not helping me. A certain amount of... Okay, whenever the boss takes a certain amount of damage, he would disguise himself as an inanimate object, or a trash can, or a med pack, a chair. The object can be very hard to spot, even though it does vibrate in place. Sometimes the only way to find it is to shoot everything as looking at the object, or shooting it will cause the boss to emerge. Okay, so I didn't know that. Alright, well, let's try it, I guess. I mean, how would I know? Alright, so let's look for a vibrating object. I haven't seen any vibrating objects. I've not seen any vibrating objects. I don't even see him popping up next to me anymore. Where's he at? Come on, man. I literally don't see anything vibrating. Alright, let me check this walkthrough again. It will disguise himself as an inanimate object, a trash can, med pack, a chair. The object can be very hard to spot, even though it does vibrate in place. Sometimes the only way to find it is to shoot everything, as looking at the object or shooting it will cause the boss to emerge. Take down the zombies and roam around the room until you get close enough to the boss, causing him to reappear. It's helpful to fight this boss while standing on top of the glass display. Boss and joint projects emerges, disappears, and never reappears. Okay. Alien-like boss and joint projects and reemergence, or in emergence, seems to disappear between rounds at this point, and it enters objects. We've seen it enter a chair near the entrance, in the dark seating area, a trash can by the cameras, a side table along the wall. Object it enters shakes so you can see them, but the dimness of the room makes it really tough. Okay, I'll try. Fucking A. Do it! never see this vibrating object that it talks about. I don't like this enemy. Whatever's going on with it, I never see the object vibrating. Just gonna start shooting everything. I wish the sound actually helped you, but it doesn't seem like it helps half the time. Bro. Can I see it from up here, maybe? You're the lamest boss ever, dude. Like, he's not even hard, he's just like, I don't know where to find him. Come out. Whoever designed this is retarded. They should have gave you like better hints. I don't know what to do. to get him to come out. Let me check this one more time again. Trash can by the cameras, a side table along the wall. Object to enter shakes so you can see them, but the dimness of the room makes it really tough. Try shooting objects as well as you may spray bullet into the object, but just walking close to it activates the boss. If the boss really doesn't appear, just load up your save and try again. Sometimes it's much easier to spot the objects. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to reload the save or something. Last checkpoint.
It's hiding.
So getting close enough will activate it too. So maybe just running around the room. And it sounds like he's in there sometimes, like in the other room. So, oh, now I see it. Damn. I just want to get past this part, man. Yeah, he's not showing up again. I just shot it. Come on now. There's some type of weird glitch going on here. This sucks. It won't come out. What a load of shit, dude. And it won't let me leave the room. There's like nothing that activates him either. Because I've already shot some of the objects that he was in and he didn't do anything. There it is. Fucking A. Dude, really? I finally fucking found him.
It's hiding.
I should have, like, grapple hooked off, but at the same time I wanted to fight him. That was the first time I ever saw the chair vibrate. Does he, like, move above me sometimes? I saw a shadow. Oh shit. Now we're getting somewhere.
Stop. Find it.
turn up my brightness. It's like a certain point where like he doesn't have any more objects to go into or something. I just don't see anything vibrating. Oh, shit. I'm not playing to this song. Hold up one second. Alright. Got him. Yay! Oh my god, thank god. Whew! I was starting to think we weren't going to get past it.
Too left to find. They tried so hard to perfect the Cradle case, but the side effects couldn't be stopped. As we know, we were the first and last trial volunteer. So its makers repurposed it into a biological weapon instead.
I think we found another way into biotech. Eric won't be able to reach it from the road up. Hope you found that elevator right now.
It's been a long time. This case is lost.
Someone left something important inside that bathysphere case. There it is.
Control room access gate open.
We'll need to drain the water to get to it.
Oh. Well, I mean, leave? Oh. I like this gun. I was supposed to jump in. I heard something. I don't know. I don't care about it. One second.
Override timer initiated. 25 seconds remaining.
I don't understand. Where am I supposed to go?
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Oh, is that what I had to do? I don't know where to go. Oh, like it's telling me shit. Really? Where am I going? I don't know where the fuck to go, dude. Oh, it's down there. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I don't know. Do I need to unlock this door? Is that what it's for? I'm gonna do this. I hate doing this, though. freaking go through all the freaking. Got it. What's in here? Found it.
You remember the tests and the bathysphere. After treating us with the cradle, they tried to mold us into perfect soldiers. They planned to break down the walls of mind and body.
I'm changing the song. Too happy for me right now. I guess I kind of want to turn it down a little bit. That should be okay. Alright. I'm so glad we got past that part earlier. Maybe I'll actually be able to beat this game before my Game Pass runs out. What is this room? Oh yeah, this is where I was just at. Here we go. Fucking A. Yeah, that was close. Fucking A. Let me out! Shit! What the fuck, dude? That's so much bullshit. They're like surrounding me all of a sudden. Fuck, he's getting stuck on the floor. Look at that. Where the fuck is he? Out of here, bro. There's like a pier behind me. Dude, come on. I kept getting delayed from like partially dying in the process. Man, it's like a game of lag or something. Where's he at? I don't know where he's at now. He's in the center. That was close. Where's that now? Got him. Finally.
Almost there. Only one hero left.
How do I get out of here?
Cradle Project failed this case. We were out of control, violent, maniacal. And in our rage, we sabotaged this facility. Contaminated with the same poison that runs in our veins. Remember?
Can I get a waypoint? I'll get out of here. Am I supposed to die right there? No. What? What the fuck was that? They weren't even zombies.
Almost there. Only one keeper left. Cradle Project failed this case. We were out of control, violent, reliable. In our rage, we sabotaged this facility. It's heavy. The same twisted lines in our face. Remember?
Let me out of here! What the fuck? I kept on trying to do it, wouldn't do it. I need some ammo.
One keeper left. Cradle Project failed this case. We were out of control, violent, reliable. In our rage, we sabotaged this facility.
I'm changing this song. I need something kind of smooth for a second. Oh shit. Get on my nerves. Can you shut up, lady? I want to be in my head for a second. So I can freaking think about what the hell I'm doing. Need some ammo. Alright, let's just get out of here. Why do they all look the same? Damn, he's like stuck his hand through him. Just gonna go and get it.
The staff was absolutely thrilled with the results of last week's Cradle trial. You're exceeding all of our expectations. In fact, we think you're ready for the next step.
Smoke break. Oh yeah, I remember this part.
We documented the making of the Cradle here. They used to take their reports to the director. Now it's up to us. Maybe he'll give us his key card in return. We found the first report. They were all complicit. Another report.
shit. Anybody else hiding? Yep. Shit, 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 shit. Here they come.
The director wants those reports, Case. One down, 3 to go. That's 2 reports. 2 left. 3 reports. 1 more to go. There's 1 more report to find.
I haven't gotten it yet. Where is it? Right here.
That's the last report. There we are. I knew we couldn't trust him. He has the cover.
Oh shit. Here you go.
See, he's a monster. Look at this.
Shit. Yeah, it's not what I wanted. Yeah.
Excellent work. That's all the key cards. If you know the origins of the Pantheon case, they were a CIA branch, unknown to even the other Black Ops divisions. They developed the Cradle. A new generation of operatives would be born in it.
Looks like this room is ransacked. Tough to tell when though.
Some of this dust is a lot thinner in spots. It's been a while.
They won't into that during most of these things. Maybe it's just biotech.
Director keycard accepted. Director keycard accepted.
Evacuation protocol 5.
Director keycard accepted.
After the incident here, Livingston shut the Cradle program down. They dissolved the Pantheon branch of the CIA. Livingston was uncovered in their methods. Afterwards, we were rehabilitated.
Remember your training, Case 1. You can never speak of the Cradle program or the Pantheon division. Never. Doing so could have
Come on. Shit. Where's he at? Come on, finish. Hey. Oh, shit. Yeah, bro. Whoa. Did I just die? Okay, I guess not.
I think he's coming too.
If I'm shouting, it's because I have these headphones on.
Whatever trip you did, I'm glad I wasn't invited. You're doing your feet. Can't believe you even made it up here.
Hey, we have something. Check it out. Someone took a large batch of whatever this stuff is. Some of it looks of it.
The Pantheon. This must be the cradle.
What is it? A hallucinogen?
Seems so. Hey, you're ready to tear us both apart. Never seen that look in your eyes before. Hope we don't see it again. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, something you should see.
No popcorn?
I'm serious. Now you got my attention. You cracked the disc.
Indeed.
No. You must make sure that... Yes, you have it.
Ready, Dr. Gusev?
Bring her in. Subject 18 has been infected with the cradle. She's now in proximity to our control subject. Transmission should occur momentarily. Yes, and more aggressive, as requested. Wonderful.
Isn't that your friend? Harold?
You did it. Apparently so. There's still a few more minutes. I said
Need you. Grab the other end, will you? Good to see you up. Imagine that bender you were on is still taking a toll. And you know, maybe that your friend is a huge bitch. At least you missed the house collapse last night. Right into the water. I don't know about you, but I might start sleeping outside. Let's drop them right here. I don't want to bother Marshall.
What you doing, man?
Audio. This moment in the background.
Now.
Alright, guys.
B24.
I'm gonna be getting off of here the next few minutes.
Not who.
I'll go ahead and say my goodbyes.
Fucina is the casino Lutazzi.
We might see what the next cutscene's gonna be.
Adler suspected.
Anyways, I appreciate you all for stopping by. If you liked the video, go ahead and like. If you're new to the channel, we'd love for you to follow.
Done some work for the Lutazzi's regrettable
And I might be on here sometime tomorrow.
Might be willing to shed light on that.
Just gotta wait and see.
Would help Felix make the dancing. Have you too.
Tune in again, and you might just see.
Marshall. Can I talk to you? You're unusually quiet.
You man with this.
Y'all have a good night.
Harold meant that much to you?
We working or we talking?
Not trying to push. It's clear you're taking this pretty hard.
Wouldn't you?
Yes. I suppose I would. And did.
Don't.
What?
Don't act like you know how I'm feeling.
Your pain is your own, Marshall. But I'm no stranger to betrayal.
Yeah? How about when the person you trusted the most turns out to be a simple villain? How about that?
Tragedy is not a competition.
I don't want a pep talk right now.
I am trying to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
And you think that this is what I need right now?
I was once like you. Did what I was told. Trusted what the people in my life told me. Know what that got me?
A life of crime.
Loss. The only person real in my life. The only person who saw me. The real me. Gone. Forever. And I pulled the trigger.
Say it like.
No, the rules have changed. The game has. Either accept defeat or take a stand.